What's up, guys? So today's my birthday. It's actually June 10th. I'm going to post this on Monday, but this Saturday, June 10th today, it's my 39th birthday. So I decided to take a little break, get out of town, bring the family to Santa Cruz. I had a lot of really amazing trips here when I was a kid. So it's really great to come back. It's amazing just to feel this energy again, especially with the warm weather coming where I'm at. This is really nice. But point of today's video was to talk about a really good question I got from one of you guys that attended Sync Up. The question was, hey Jesse, you're talking a lot about AI, especially at Sync Up, and I'm a member of a couple of different online sync communities. I follow a bunch of people that talk about sync. You kind of are the only one making a big deal about it. You're making a lot of noise about it. You had a big part of your Sync Up event dedicated to talking about how we should prepare ourselves and maybe change course and adjust our trajectory in this industry. But I don't see a lot of other, communities or people talking about sync really making a big deal about it. So it's hard to make sense of that. Are you just kind of a lone wacko kind of talking about it and getting to, he didn't say this, but this is kind of how I interpreted it. Are you the only one just being over paranoid about this? Is it really just not that big of a deal? I'm kind of confused, and I thought it's a really good question. And if I were sitting in your guys' position, I'd probably feel the same thing, or I'd have the same question. So I can't speak for obviously why other communities aren't talking about it maybe as much as I am, or why other people who are, sync educators aren't making as much noise as I am about it. I'm sure they have their own reasons, which are probably very legitimate, very valid for why it's just not something that's on their radar or something they choose not to make a lot of videos about. But I can tell you, I can speak for myself as to why I have really prioritized it, why I've been talking more about it, and maybe it'll help give you guys some perspective on the fairly difficult position that I'm in, but why I feel that this is the right move, even if AI is totally overhyped and it ends up being nothing that disrupts us. So I elected myself to be a sort of leader of our industry in a way of just becoming somebody that, not of the industry, but just becoming somebody that put his flagpole up and said, hey, if you want to learn about sync licensing, especially with production music libraries, come follow me, come hang out. We got a lot of cool things we can talk about. So in a way, it's like I boarded you guys all on this ship. Let's call it the Titanic. Now, the Titanic had a really sad ending, so we don't have to have a sad ending, and I'll explain why. But essentially, I'm the one that got you guys on the boat. I put out my videos, I had ads in the beginning, I had a lot of stuff going out there, and a lot of you guys found me through one video or another, and you guys boarded the boat. Those of you that are following, those of you that are taking it seriously, those of you that really want to do well with sync licensing. So you guys jumped on the boat, and I'm kind of the captain here, right? And we're going along, and I sort of showed you to your room, gave you your accommodations, gave you some food, and we're having a good old time, especially this last weekend at Sync Up. Boy, did we have a lot of fun on our trip, right? But we're out here cruising, and off in the distance there, I see something white. It's bobbing up and down. I don't know exactly what it is. It kind of looks like a thing called Google Music LM, right? That's what I see out there in the distance, and I don't know exactly what it is. Could just be some broken ice that our ship just goes right through and it doesn't impact our trip at all. We just keep sailing through. It could be an iceberg. That's what it absolutely could be. So unlike the Titanic, I want to be a captain that sees this stuff way ahead, okay? And really keep my eye out for it, because I have two jobs. One is to be focused and centered on you guys, looking at what you're interested in, helping you navigate these waters. But I also need to have another eye out there looking out into the ocean, to kind of see what's in front of us, what's ahead of us, what could potentially change, adjust, threaten our industry. And no matter what happens with AI, we're always going to be changing. I think you guys all know that. If there's one thing you can count on that'll be constant in life, it's change. We're going to be changing. So as I sort of put myself in this position to be a kind of captain of this boat, and I learned about AI just alongside of most of you guys, it freaked me out. It was like, wow, this is powerful stuff. I think it's going to evolve fairly quickly. Don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know where these applications are going to be. I don't know if this is going to be something that can immediately come in and impact our lives, but it kind of looks like it might be an iceberg out there. So you know what? Let's start looking at it now, before it's the middle of the night and we see this white thing pop up and ice particles drop all over the deck of our ship. Let's look at this stuff well in advance, so that if we need to change course, get on a different boat, change directions, whatever we need to do, we've got some time to do that now. Now I know doing that it's not the popular thing a lot of times, right? Because I know a lot of you guys hate that I'm talking about this stuff. It gives you anxiety. It makes you mad. You probably think that I've lost focus or that I'm just getting too sidetracked with this stuff. Totally understand that, and I know that the person sometimes pointing out an unpopular potential truth, I don't know exactly the future, but a potential threat, you're kind of the messenger of bad news, and it sucks being the messenger of bad news. You obviously get shot a lot. So I knew that was going to be a sort of little pain that I feel right now to just talk about this stuff early on and try to prepare you the best I can. That's really what a lot of those presentations at Sync Up were about, is that if this stuff is going to come in and become that iceberg, here's our getaway ship. Here's how we course correct. Here's what we can do now to have a little bit of insulation against this really disruptive technology that's basically coming on board. And what I was doing is as I learned about AI, I thought about the future. And I thought about what would I feel like if knowing what I knew about AI, or at least feeling what I felt about it, and then just not making any content about it. Sort of dismissing it. And that's what I did for a long time, for many years. Buried my head in the sand. These models aren't that good. I don't think it's going to be that competitive for us. I don't think it's going to be disruptive. It's just nothing. And I think that was more just willful ignorance. I really didn't want to accept that this could be a potential iceberg, right? I didn't want it to spoil our amazing, awesome cruise that we were on. So I'd rather than be the adult in the room of saying, hey, this is something we should start looking at, I was being what's the word? Negligence. It was a negligent captain move of me not to take that more seriously. So I'm not doing that again. But as I was looking into the future, I thought, how am I going to feel one day when we wake up and there literally is like a Google Music LM that's basically creeping into either production music libraries or some TV film clients? And all along, I thought it was a potential threat, and I thought it was an iceberg, but I never said anything to you guys about it. I never made a video about it. I never tried to prepare us for like, hey, we're having a good time and we're on our journey, but let's also look at the horizon. There's some things out there we got to kind of keep our eye on, right? I know I wouldn't look in the mirror and feel good about myself. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I would just feel like an asshole, essentially. I would just feel like an absolute jerk that took you guys on an amazing journey, amazing ride, and then didn't prepare us for getting away or getting around or changing our course before it was too late, before it was absolutely, disrupting all of our way of life. And again, am I wrong? Maybe. And people who are saying it's not a big deal, they could be totally right about this. We're all guessing. I hope you guys all know that, okay? I'm guessing. People who don't think it's a big deal, never think AI will disrupt us, they're guessing as well. Obviously, I think my guess is more correct. That's why I'm making videos like this. That's why I'm talking to data scientists. That's why I'm making presentations like the one I did at Sync Up, which, by the way, I'm still considering making that available. I think I will make it available for Sync Academy members first. Whether or not I make it available broadly to everybody, I don't know. I want to make sure that those of you that invested in Sync Up, you obviously have some, added value, that you guys obviously invested in the education first. So I want you guys to have sort of like first movers advantage at that. But we'll see. I'm loosening up those chains a little bit as I'm thinking about it right now. So I hope this helps explain where I'm at, why I felt it would have been negligent of me. Like, I take this stuff seriously, guys. I hope that comes through in my videos and what I say. I don't just see myself as like another YouTuber just putting up videos or another guy talking about whatever. Like, I'm probably the reason why a lot of you guys have changed dramatically your music careers. And I don't take that lightly. I don't think that's just like a no big deal, whatever. If it doesn't work out, who cares? I really do take that dead serious. Like, I do see myself as a sort of boat captain or a doctor, trying to be that good doctor that even though I might have some uncomfortable, unpleasant news, you can count on me to give you that truth and that honesty, because I want to have a relationship with you guys long into the future. I don't want this to be just a couple of years, who knows, how long sync licensing remains a relevant play. Again, I'll let you guys know when I don't feel it is anymore. But even if it's not sync licensing and it's another opportunity that we all sort of find ourselves in, I want to keep this relationship going. Like, I want to keep hanging with you guys. I want to keep this really amazing community alive. And I know the only way to do that is I got to be honest. Like, I got to just tell you exactly how I see things. It doesn't mean that I am a prognosticator or that I have some sort of special insight into the future and I know how things are going to work out. That I definitely don't. That's why I go talk to data scientists. That's why I go talk to experts. That's why I get curious about this stuff, because I don't know anything until I start talking to people that know a lot better than me. And even they are taking a lot of guesses. So I'm rambling now. I'm going to go the rest of the day, enjoy the rest of the day with my family, and have a fun little birthday here at the boardwalk in Santa Cruz. That's actually where I had a lot of fun memories as a kid. So I'm really excited to bring my daughters there now, and maybe ride some rides and get some cotton candy and play some video games. So it's going to be a great day. I wish you guys all the best. You guys are all amazing, and stay tuned. Got some great stuff coming your way right here on the channel.